going on, everybody? This is David. Welcome back to the channel. As always, remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell on your way in, and I really appreciate it. Helps the channel grow. As always, I am not a financial advisor. Always do your own research. I am not a financial advisor. But like I said, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the notification button on your way in, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And in this video, I am going to break down my JEPQ position. That is one of my favorite ETFs that I have in my portfolio. And, I'm just going to show you guys how many shares I have and, um, my percentage as far as, in the green and the red or whatever the case may be, and how much I'm getting monthly, because this is a monthly paying ETF. This is a dividend paying ETF that has a pretty high payout. And I know that people are, get turned away from, these positions that pay a high dividend. But let's just take a look and see if JEPQ fits that mold of something that you may want to look into or stay away from. So without further ado, we're going to jump first. We're going to just glance over here at our Yahoo Finance to just take a little look at JEPQ. So bear with me for 1 second and let's see what we can do here. It's going to let me present. I think it will. So let's take a look at JEPQ over at Yahoo Finance. And here we are. JEPQ, you see here, is a JP Morgan NASDAQ Equity Premium Income ETF. It last traded at $55.98 on as of Friday, January 10th. We scroll down here, we see that JEPQ's inception date is May 3rd, 2022. So it hasn't been around that long, but it's been around long enough to collect some data to see if this is a possible ETF that you may want to look into for your portfolio. You see expense ratio here, 0.35%. I'm not an expense ratio stickler, so that may be a little high for some, maybe low for some. I'm not sure how you feel about that. You see the yield here, 9.66%. Let's take a look at some of the holdings of JEPQ. And we're going to look at the top 9 holdings, which makes up about 43% of the total assets. You see Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, Broadcom, Meta, Tesla, Netflix. All positions that sound pretty familiar, right? Honestly, I have all these positions with the exception of Netflix in my portfolio. So I have no problem with the top 9 positions at all. And if we go over to performance, and as you see here, like I said, it hasn't been around that long, but let's see, in 2023, annual total return hits at 36.23% compared to the category of 14.97%. 2024, 24.89% compared to 17%. So I think it's doing pretty well. And you have the trailing returns versus the benchmark. We just see year to date. I think it's kind of too early. This may have been last year, 2024, but you see 24% to 17%, which is, like we said, I think that's the 2024 numbers over the last month, up 0.42%, up 6% 3 month compared to the benchmark of 2%. 1 year, like we say, 24% compared to 17% of the benchmark, and don't have enough data because it hasn't been around long enough to get the 3 to 5 to 10 year data. So far, so good. Let's take a look over at the historical data. So as you see, JEPQ has been holding in regards to its share price because, you're seeing a 24% return in 2024. I think that's pretty good. Compare that to the S&P. I don't have that information right in front of what the S&P's done, but I think it's pretty in line with what the S&P's doing. And we said it pays good dividends, right? So let's take a look at the dividends on this. This is a monthly thing, dividend ETF, and we want to go. Let's go max. Go max. Let's go all the way down, back to when it first started paying the dividend, 0.38. So that's 38 cent, 34 cent, 41 cent, 55 cent. Pretty solid. 68%. I'm sorry, 68 cent. This 68 cent a share. So pretty solid, holding up pretty strong. 2024, looking at 34%, 38%, 43, 43, 45, 42, 43. Then we start kicking it up a little bit. September is a good month. 56, 55 in October, 49, 51 cent. And then most recently, 46 cents. So I am very impressed with the dividend payout along with the performance of the ETF with JEPQ. So if I was doing some research and wondering if I need to add JEPQ to my portfolio, based on just a little quick touch up we just did, I think it would be a great add to the portfolio. I'm a huge fan of JEPQ. Honestly, it's one of my favorite ETFs. I'm glad I had it in my portfolio. If you look at some of my older videos, you see that I had a actual challenge, a JEPQ challenge previously, because I was investing in both JEPQ and JEPI starting off, but I made the decision to go straight with JEPQ. So I'm no longer in JEPI, JEPI. I took those funds and I combined, and I'm solely in JEPQ. So I have JEPQ in two portfolios, and also my son has JEPQ as well. So, like I said, I am a believer in the JEPQ ETF. I have it in two of my portfolios, and my son also has it in his portfolio as well. So, what I want to do now is head over to my little Excel sheet, my little Excel breakdown, just to show you, uh, give a little breakdown of how my JEPQ positions have been doing so far. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. Take a look here. Bear with me 1 second. And here we go. Right. So you see here, JEPQ, and we have David's account. I have my son account here. So I have it in two portfolios here and one in my son's portfolio. So we're looking at one of my positions, 82.581 shares. The other position I have 40.913 shares. My son has 23.289 shares for a grand total of 146.783 shares. And this one portfolio, I am up 15.85% on my position. And the other portfolio, I'm up 22.50% on the position. And in my son's portfolio, he's up 22% on his position of JEPQ. So far, so good as far as the return and the profit that we're making on JEPQ since I've owned the position. So like I said, I am thoroughly impressed with JEPQ and its position. The share price has been holding to pay such a good dividend and not lose that share price. It's kind of what you want to see in a dividend focused ETF. So up 15%, up 22%, up 22%. I'll take that. And just to look at the dividend payouts the last 6 months, let's look at August here. So for this position, I received $33.61. The next position, $16.31. My son received $9.18, so that's a total of $59.10. September, we had a big payout, $44, $21, and $12 for my son, total of $77.57. October, $43, $21, $12. One of my lights went out. Bear with me. $77. I mean, total for a total of $77, man. I'll take that any day of the week. Man, this light messing me up. In November, we had a payout of $39, $19, $11 for a grand total of $69.99. Then we had in December $41, $20. Let me see if I can get this light back. With a light going here. $41, $20, $11 for my son for a total of $72.96. And most recently in January, this position received $37. The next position was $18.50. My son received $10.53 for a total of $66.40. So for 6 months, we've received $423.46 in dividend income in my JEPQ position. So pretty good for this ETF as far as the dividend income that we're receiving. That's $423.46. That's an average of $70.58 a month. So $70.58 a month average we've been receiving in dividend income from JEPQ. So not only has it been holding its share price, we've also been receiving nice dividend income, and I can't complain about that. I'm sorry, that's just a win-win situation. Like I say, I'm a huge fan of JEPQ. I'm going to keep adding to my position. In my son's account, I usually reinvest the dividends. I believe I reinvest the dividends in this account. I don't reinvest all the dividends in this particular account. I do reinvest some of the dividends, but I use some of these funds to purchase other shares of stocks as well. So as far as I'm concerned, man, JEPQ is doing exactly what it needs to do. It's providing me an overall profit as far as the share price, and it's paying a nice monthly dividend. And it's just one of those gems that I have in the portfolio. I'm a big fan of JEPQ, and I'm anxious to see how it's going to perform over the next few years. Because, like I said, it's still fairly new. Not a lot of data on it, but it's enough data for me to definitely continue to have it in my portfolio. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Like I said, the JEPQ has been performing really well for me. Let me know what you guys think. Are you an investor in JEPQ? Is it something that you might want to think about adding to your portfolio? If so, why would you want to add it? If not, let me know why you don't think you need to add it. I appreciate the feedback in the chat. And yeah, that's it. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, man. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research. And I will talk to you guys later.